Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the September meeting of the Washington County Quorum Court to order. I want to welcome everybody here this evening. Good to see our colleagues as we sit and do the business of Washington County. Item number 5 is our citizens' comment period. We have a 15-minute comment period with a limit for 3 minutes per individual. Any citizen comments this evening?
One of the things that I do want to point out is that the GIS map on the county website is inactive, and therefore citizens in the county have not had an opportunity to actually see the new zoning going through. And I think that level of transparency is really important prior to any voting taking place on that ordinance. There is nothing in the proposal that deals with water usage in developments that may be coming to the county. I think that is incredibly important that we deal with water preservation, specifically because my family, of which there are several members, and all of my neighbors have issues with water availability in the county as it stands. We have been on that land for 4 generations.
This planning and zoning document should not be in ordinance form yet. What good reason would you have for keeping 178 homeowners in the dark about a high-intensity, high-impact industrial land use change only until after the rezoning is approved? 9 minutes into the August 28th Planning Board meeting, here in this room, Brian Lester said that we have a list of criteria that will be used by the JPs when they consider a rezoning interest request. That list, as it relates to the rezoning consideration, is also not anywhere in this document. It looks like much of this has simply been cut and pasted from the current ordinances and then proofread by someone who doesn't understand how the new process is supposed to be different from the old. This document is ambiguous, incomplete, and contradictory.
That's time.
I still have 15 seconds left.
I'm sorry, I'm the timekeeper. You need to step away from the podium, sir.
And I'm perplexed about it because people come to Washington County for the unspoiled natural beauty. It's why people come here, for the beauty of our roads. And if we rezone to commercial along all these roads here, then we get away from the conditional use permit process by which the property rights of existing landowners are respected. And we go to the commercial process where the approval is all within the county government and existing landowners have their property rights trampled on. But the really perplexing thing is people come here for the natural beauty, not for miles and miles of car lots and junkyards and cut-rates appliance barns along our highways. They come here because it's beautiful. An anecdote in West Fork, a gentleman from Asheville, North Carolina, which is a pretty good place, drove up from Alma and said, I fell in love with this place on the drive up 71 from Alma. And that road, the Boston Scenic Loop, is on the list to be changed to commercial. This is just wrong-headed for the benefit of the county. It's wrong-headed for the rights of existing landowners. And one has to ask, why would you want to do this with the gem of Northwest Arkansas, the Boston Mountain Scenic Loop, Highway 74 out to Devil's Den, not to mention the other roads going out into the rural areas? Do we want sprawl, commercial sprawl everywhere? We've got places for that. We don't need more.
The existing single-family and agricultural zoning, which has protected us for generations, should not be swept aside in the interest of making development easier. The current proposals rezones both sides of every highway in Washington County to commercial. This will replace rolling pastures for us with pavement and commercial buildings such as those on Highway 412, east of Highway 71 in Springdale. Take a moment to visualize the effect of this being repeated in small communities and rural areas throughout the county, who most likely do not even know this is happening.
I'd like to know the rush. Why do we need to rush on this? Why does the judge believe we're in the 11th hour on this? There's a lot of people who are still trying to figure out what the map and zonings are. I didn't even get to see a final draft today. I hear that it's not out yet. I think if it's a good enough ordinance to pass with this quorum court, that it would be a good enough ordinance to pass with the new quorum court in January that might be replacing some seats here. I would like to request that you follow rules in amending an ordinance
by highlighting the changes that you're making so that it make it easier for the public to see what the changes are. It's been said that the changes in the new ordinance will make the planning process easier for everyone, so the ordinance changes themselves should be easier for the public to process.
Why is this policy being enacted to create a red line that runs down places that are zoned agricultural that have nothing to do with commercial entities or residential developments?
And I'm here to express grave concerns about the rezoning proposal. This blanket overlay of commercial zoning along all state highways, in my opinion, is irresponsible, and it exemplifies bad land use planning. Why would you saddle future generations of Washington County with potentially disastrous consequences? What is the rush on pushing this ill-conceived plan through? Please vote no on this current rezoning proposal. Let's take a long-range vision for this county, its natural beauty, its rural aesthetic, tourism, and livability, rather than a short-term plan to allow uncontrolled economic development for a few at the expense of its citizens and irreplaceable natural resources. Let's get this right instead of just getting it done.
That'll move us to item number 9. Counselor, will you read that by title only?
An ordinance creating new planning and zoning law in Washington County and for other matters pertaining thereto.
I want to address a couple things just so the public can be put at ease. We've tried to take this process very slowly. We're gaining input from the citizens. This is a work in progress. We understand that. I don't think anybody has intentions to sit here tonight and try to railroad this through, which has been some of the accusations. I'm sorry if wherever we got that insinuation, that's not my intent. I don't think it's the intent of the court. What I will say is that there are changes to this ordinance regularly right now because we are getting comments, we are gaining feedback, and we're trying to incorporate those the best we can. What my suggestion would be this evening is that we let Director Ada bring us up to speed of where we're at with the ordinance, kind of the final draft where we're at right now. We've made notes that the map has not worked on the website. We will certainly try to take care of that, and we'll try to continue to take these comments and questions and field them. And I think with the absence of Councilor Lester here tonight, and of course the work we want to continue to do with that, I would suggest maybe that we postpone this a month after we hear a little bit more about where we're at so that we can at least be brought up to speed and continue to carve on this. I had no intentions tonight of the Quorum Court moving this forward. Any of you that I've had side conversations with about this, I don't think that was anyone's intention. So I apologize if the public got that insinuation from any moment.
I'm going to loop this all the way back around to the beginning. I move we send this back to committee.
I have a motion to refer back to the County Services Committee by Justice Lyons. I saw second by Justice Bowerman. Excuse me, sir. Bowerman. All those in favor? Those opposed, that the ordinance 9.1 will be moved to the, making sure I had it right, 9.1 will move to the County Services Committee.